we come to know ourselves, to speak to, I think, a question you were asked a bit earlier about relationships. We come to know who we are in relationships, beginning in our earliest relationship. There is no self on an island. We are interconnected, interpersonal beings. We're wired. We are in a physical state of dependency as a human infant. We can't sustain life on our own. There has to be some degree of a present caregiver showing up consistently to just literally keep us alive. So then when we talk about psychological concepts like sense of self, who I am, right, that is very much defined in how I was able, how safe I was to express who I am in those earliest relationships. And the reality for many of us is we didn't have a safe, grounded, curious, attentive caregiver who was able to explore us as a different being. We either grew up in an unsafe environment. We didn't have that level of attunement. We were seen as an extension, right, of our parents and given all of this messaging of what we should and shouldn't be. And before long, who we come to know ourselves as then is a byproduct of how we had to be, the adaptations we had to make in these very early relationships. So again, we are not solo individuals, even if we don't feel connected to the relationships around us. Who we think we are was created out of those relationships. And then to complicate it further, to go on with your point of how embedded then we become in these relationships as we begin to come to new awareness, leave home, meet new friends, try on new aspects of our being, have the freedom to do that. And then we turn around and try to, right, express these different parts of ourselves in a system that's become so locked by expectations, right? I've always showed up this one way. And now here I am, lo and behold, doing something different. At minimum, we're going to violate a lot of expectations. So there's going to be a lot of surprised humans that, are having something unfamiliar now in front of them that then might react from a much more complicated place of threat, right? Might begin to feel abandoned, might not necessarily like this new way that we're showing up. And then we might get different degrees of kickback where before long, right, the pressure internally, it already feels uncomfortable enough to do something unfamiliar, right? My nervous system is alerting me that this could be scary, be careful, tread slowly. And now if I couple that with the external environment screaming at me, right, to stop being different, who do I think I am, better than me? Before long, before I know it, I am right back in those old familiar patterns.